questions? Gonna wait another minute before I see if anybody else is coming online. You doing handstands, Matthew? Okay, we're gonna start pretty soon. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Sensei.
Your injury, is your injury to your knee?
Yeah, I mean it's still not over, so I will watch the class, but
Yep.
I'm afraid I won't be able to practice.
Yeah, just be careful. We're gonna do a little bit of hip action and pivoting, so I just want to make sure that you just be careful with your knee and everything again. So
yeah,
you're watching.
Like I said, I'm not going to do the move. Perhaps just the upper body, but definitely not the positions. I just can't right now.
Okay, that's good then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll start now. Okay. Show me knee. Hey. Over to guy knee. Hey. Right. Okay. We're going to loosen up. I'm sure everybody should be loosened up by now. But what we're going to do is we're just going to do knee swings up from here, 10 on each side. Make sure your supporting foot, knee over toes. So when you swing up, don't lean back. Keep that knee angle the same. From here, 10 times on each side, just to loosen up. Okay, and when you're finished, you're going to do 10 straight leg swings, swing up from here. It's going to work. It's going to pull out your hamstrings, so 10 on each side. Keep that front knee bent. Okay, so I think wasn't sure if it was last week or a previous session. I talked about the pelvic tilt, and so maybe we'll go back to the knee swings. What I want you to do is you're in your pelvic tilt is forward pelvic tilt, so your lower pelvic area is back, and instead of just bringing your leg up, while you're bringing your leg up, I want you to activate the reverse pelvic tilt. So I want you to push your lower hips forward. So in this position, instead of just bringing your leg up, I want you to bring your hips up at the same time. So, and then the forward pelvic tilt, then reverse pelvic tilt. So do that. 10 on each side. And just shake your hips around to loosen up a bit. And then I want you to do the same knee swings up, but I want you to alternate between no pelvic tilt, just leg and knee up, and then hips, knee, hips. Okay, total of 10 on each side, so 5, 5 with pelvic tilt, 5 without, but alternating. I want you to have that feeling back and forth. Okay, now what we're going to do is we don't use it in Goju Karate or most karate, but we're going to do, it's called an outside crescent kick. So you're going to be in hands under stretch, back leg, and what you're going to do is you're going to swing it to the outside and back in from here. So you come slightly on the outside, and then you whip it on the inside. Okay. But make sure that front knee, when you do the swing, don't put your weight back. Keep it the same angle. Okay. Do 10 on each side. And you have to shake your hips out. Okay, now we're going to go the opposite. We're going to do an inside crescent kick. So instead of coming out, we're going to come in. We're going to swing around. So in, around, back. Same thing. Keep your knee, same angle, and swing around. Inside, then whip it around. Okay. Okay. Yes. Do you have a question, or yeah? If you have a question, just ask me.
So for the last one kick that we did,
Yeah.
are you kicking with the heel?
It's actually, it can be the heel, but it's the edge of the foot.
Oh, so same as like
Yeah, it's almost like a slap.
Okay.
It's almost like a slap coming across. So both kicks, normally you don't just make contact and it stops. You deflect off of it, so it's almost like a slap in position. That being said, the first one, the outside crescent kick. I guess normally we don't use it in karate. Taekwondo uses it a lot, but we do use in outside and inside to a degree. in Karate Special Goju. Does anybody know where we use outside press and kick? I don't know if I can do it here because I have a rug, just a little bit of friction. So, here.
Okay.
Super empty. So the highest Goju kata, where you shoot that, what you do is you take the outside, it's like somebody's grabbing you on the arm here. And your foot actually knocks it off. And then you pivot, turn in that position. So from here, after you do that slap and kick, mawate, and then kakyoke, so open hand. I want you to practice that. 5 on each side, 5 on each side. But remember, after you do the outside press and kick, mawate, turn and kosayashi, and then kakyoke and hikurachi. So, like I said, one hint, which is it's a little difficult, but after the slap, and I don't know if you can see my foot. So after the slap, if you slap and you turn and your supporting foot is facing straight back, then you can do kosayashi. So that supporting foot, after that slap, has to pivot facing front all the way to the back. Then you drop it there. So try it again. Yeah, and it's difficult, but try, if you can, when you do the slap, try to keep your leg still up and then plant it. If you start to slap it and bring your leg down, your momentum is going to carry you down. So try to keep your knee up as high as possible after the slap. And then plant it, yeah. Okay, good. So this is in our highest Goju Kata Super Empe, and it's probably the hardest part of the kata. So we're recording, right, Kaya? Yeah, okay. Because Calvin Sensei is working on this kata and he's having problems with this. So if you perfect this turn, don't do it in front of him. He might get you know how he is sometimes. He gets a little bit off. So if you see him doing it and he's had some problems, don't show him how to do it. He's got to work it out himself. Okay, so the outside pressing kick, that's where we use in Super Empe. The inside pressing kick, where do we use the mechanics of that? Yeah, I think some people are showing it in here. Saifa, right? Or portion of it, gig side. Okay. The difference with the crescent kick, I don't know if you can see my supporting foot, it basically stays straight, right? So the momentum of the kick going around opens you up. Okay, so I can actually turn like gig side without pivoting my foot initially, without the hip action. The momentum of the leg will turn my foot. It'll pivot by itself. Position. Okay. Gig side's a little bit different. You want to, when you bring your leg up this way, like you're kicking a tire, and then you kick and lift up your foot to flip the tire, not to push the tire. So it's when you do that pivot, you pivot your leg, and then you want to bring your knee up as high as possible above the belt, and then you come down and Heiko Dachi. Okay, the main thing about that is you want to control the plant here. Okay, so in actual fact, you should be balanced here. You shouldn't have to plant it there. So you pivot, bring your knee, hits the wall, comes up, and you should be able to stay in Sagiyashi Dachi. And then plant it where you want. So I want you to work on this pivot. Nice pivot. Make sure that supporting knee is bent. And when you do the pivot, your knee is still bent. And plant it, you'll hold it for a while. Try to fight it, and then plant it, Heiko Dachi, relaxed. Try it on both sides. And I don't know if you can see it from my foot. But the position of my foot is like my giri. It's not this way angle, it's straight up. So you can actually do a kick. In fact, maybe when you do this one, pivot, hold it, and then work on it, and then kick, plant. Okay. Okay, good. So for the benefit of the white belts, once you do the Ashibarai in quick, from here up position, now keep your hand like a reverse punch. And then when you pull the leg in, your elbow, you're going to be turning your body this way, right? And this arm is not going to swing out this way. It's going to stay in this position. But see how my elbows bend, so I can. So what's going to happen is here. So this arm doesn't swing in. It turns, so it's already bent in position to. So this one does the uchi-uke. The other hand below comes under, like you're grabbing something. Here. So don't swing your arm and come in. Don't make a big circle. It's all it is you turn your body for the position, and then don't do it fast. Work on the mechanics. Step, elbow, extend out. Smooth. Okay, but the key is this one here, to tight, and then, so try that. Okay, but it all initiates with that hip action and the leg snapping. And like I said, just think of it as there's a car tire on its side, and your foot hits it and tries to flip it up. Yeah, and Alex, when you're doing this one here, make sure your face is here. You want to sweep past your face. You don't want to sweep it here because the punch can still come here. So you want to sweep past your face and then across. So, yeah, go ahead.
One question. Does the foot that you're sweeping with, does it ever go past the other foot? Like when you're swinging it, or does it stay
Yes.
in line?
Yeah, it can. And what it does is it makes a little bit of a sweeping up.
Okay.
It doesn't do here up. It comes up. So it goes slightly past. Yes, it goes slightly past. And it depends on the flexibility of your hip. Like it goes like you're actually trying to go as far as you can with that knee. And once you hit that wall, you swing up. Okay, so it's whipping up, bang up position. So it does go past. Yeah. And that feeling of that hip, sharp hip turning, it's a quick of the hip. It's the same feeling of the elbows snapping in too. So it's almost the same timing here, both hip and this one all coming in together.
Okay.
That's it better, Alex. Yeah, you're protecting your face. So now this feeling when you go into this setup position in here, that position, similar to that, right? Very close. So it can be kakyoke, washuke. So they're all kind of similar, this position. This is for this, but if it was kakyoke, it'd be more here, but forward. So very, very similar. Yeah, so you want to be nice and tight here. Think about that elbow. So I know I've been harping about that hip, turn that hip, snapping that hip, where that focus point. Now, the next stage is from here. Once you find where that point where your hip is going its furthest, and that energy comes up around, and then down. The next stage is continue that energy, right? Turn. So you're not stopping here and planting. You're opening your hips wider, so you're using your hips open and then stop. So you don't want to continue on this way. You want to come around, up, and then plant it down. And in Saipa, it's Renoji dash, so it's hard to see. Nekowash, get into if it's you're in Nekowash. And Renoji dash is the heel actually is placed down, but you're not leaning forward. Most of the weight is still on the back foot. You snap down, but you don't put your weight forward. The weight is still back here. So sweep around, continue on, stop, and plant without leaning forward. Okay, so try that for the green belts and white belts. So try to just gently place it down. You know, hold it and then gently place it down. If you can do that, then hold it and then stamp it down without leaning forward. But it all stems from the Giksai hip action. Okay, if you can't do the Giksai hip action, then your Saifa turn is going to be a little more difficult.
Sensei, what are we doing?
First, I want you to, for yourself, maybe, Vishnu, I want you to warm up. We're going to do an outside press and kick to warm up. So your leg swings from the outside, whips around back in. Make sure your supporting foot doesn't move. Do that 10 on each side, and then you're going to do an inside press and kick for warm up. So you go to the inside, out, in, swing around, out. And the key is to keep that knee forward. Once you do that, then it'll be the Giksai hip action and bring your knee up, plant it down, work on that. Okay, if you have any questions, just ask me again. Okay, and for the other students, once you come around with the leg comes around, you're also doing it with the arm coming over your head, like swinging over your head. So you're coming around, swinging, it's like Jodan, okay, and then coming around. And then what you're doing is when you plant your foot, you Tetsui hammer strike and snap it back. Make sure it's face level. So from here, swing around, position, but don't lean forward. So straight hands, not that. It's and bring that elbow in. So you're striking out there. That's it. Okay, so for continue on with the cycle, you come around, you snap it. Okay. And then kakioke. So you kakioke and elbow here. On the other hand, you're going to do a shitatsuki, which is a straight, you pull in, straight, and snap it back. Okay, so you're aiming for the straight up. Okay. Strike, slow, and then snap it. Solar plexus. Okay, and you go back. Yeah, snap it. Okay, so you can pull the other hand back. So this one comes in all the way, strands, and this one out and in. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And it's more centered. Yeah. And for the ones that now has that motion here, instead of just straight, what happens is your wrist bends and you curl up. Okay, so now not the first knuckle, but the second knuckle makes contact, initial contact, and then you almost dig up. Okay. Okay, so the arm doesn't do that. The arm goes straight. So it doesn't matter if it's this way or this way. The arm still goes straight. It's the wrist that makes that curling action. So whether it's a straight punch and snap it back or curling, it doesn't matter. But your forearm goes straight and then snaps back.
Sensei, how much do we retract back? Like, I know it's kind of that motion, but
Same as Kyuden, okay, Kaki, okay, that, but you're more centered. So one fist away.
Right.
Just remember, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And here, pull in, snap it out, and pull back in again. Okay, you can take a short break right now. If you have any questions, just ask me. Go, you can get some water.
Sensei, I have another question. Just wanted to confirm. After we kick,
Yeah.
pull back, and then when we bring the fist and the palm together, our front leg, is it always aligned with the hand that's open?
Yes. Well, it's both the hand and the fist are basically over the knee.
So let's say I have my right leg in front.
Yeah.
Is my arm open or is it closed? Is it the open side?
It's the front knee, front hand, fist. Yeah.
Right.
Sensei,
Yes.
after you do the first foot sweep for Saifa, and after all the hand movements, to do the foot sweep on the other side, do you just lean? You just put your weight on the front foot instead, and then
Yeah, you have to, because you're right. You're in a Renoji dachi, right? So it's almost like 90% of the weight on the front foot. So you have to shift, exactly. And in Renoji dachi, your knee is not over your toes, right? So that's how when you're coming around, you put your weight just over your toes. So it's not much, but that's what you have to do. You do that sweep. And that's why the second one is a little more difficult, because you don't have a long stance to generate that arc. You're in a small stance for Renoji dachi, your weight is on the back foot, and then you have to shift slightly to finally come around back. So it's a little more difficult on the second one. Yeah, but yeah, you're right, you have to shift it to that front knee, the front leg.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so now we're gonna go addition or modification to that cipher from here. Snap, remember snap, bring it back. And normally in cipher you do kakyoke and then pull in shitaski. What we're gonna do, position, and then what we're gonna do is here. So if you have your elbow in this way, you can do a moashi hijate and shibudachi 45. Then remember osayoke, and then your fist gets trapped in your armpit, and then which allows your knee, elbow to come up, and then you snap it. Remember, and then both past elbow down position. So try that. So come around, snap it, pause, and then try that. Okay, so try it with the here. Then do kakyoke, shaski. We're gonna here and pull it back in, and then step ahead with the back foot. Then add it on there. Okay, so we're gonna try a different application. And brown belt should know this one here. Remember? Here. Position. So to start off, shikudachi, 90 degrees, look in one direction. You pull your front foot in, and then you come around like you're going to do, and then suriashi dachi. Then pivot your foot up, balance, and then plant and like suriashi dachi. Suriashi dachi is half sanchi dachi, half stance. Now, if you have any questions, just ask me. And try to use your pelvic tilt. Okay, and for the white belts and green belts, if I'm facing that way, if my right foot is ahead, my right hand is pointing back, my left hand is underneath. So it's like you're going to grab somebody here. And then when you pivot, you pull in this position and then straight out. And it's almost straight. So it's almost like Gixai Daich, right? The knee. So lower hand is reaching out towards front. You pull in, and then, so it's not fully extended, it's in position.
Sensei,
Yes.
when you move off the shikodachi, you
Yeah.
end up falling forward. Is that okay?
You what?
You end up falling forward?
And that's not okay.
Okay, okay. All
You
right.
should be balanced. So once you pull in, you should be balanced. Right? And then you plant your front foot almost Zengu Sudachi level, and then you drag your back foot, you thrust your back foot in that position. So, but you don't want to lean, having to go forward.
Okay, Sensei, thank you very much.
Okay, so for the strike, like I said, from here, when you snap it in, my foot, you're doing a forward pelvic tilt, so my upper pelvic area is facing forward, my butt is sticking back, right? And then from here, my hands are still in this position, and I'm still in a forward pelvic tilt. When you're in Zengu Sudachi, it's almost impossible to do a reverse pelvic tilt because you're stretched forward. Okay, and then when you pull your back foot, you're doing a reverse pelvic tilt. You're snapping your lower hips forward, and at the same time, that's when you strike out. So from here, forward pelvic tilt, and then reverse pelvic tilt with the snap position.
I have a question, Sensei.
Yep.
When you do the double punch at the end,
Yep.
are the two hands one right on top of the other,
Yeah.
or shifted?
It's similar to a Gixai Daiichi, yes. Well,
I-
on top of the one. That's
Okay,
why you have
one
to
on top of the other. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
That's why you have to have your elbows bent and your wrists bent.
Uh-huh.
to align it.
Yeah, and in.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And for the white belts and green belts, make sure when you pull in, your elbows are in. And when you strike out, your elbows are in. Don't go out. This way, keep it in. Everything is in where possible. Okay, so when we're doing this kind of hip action and turn in Gixai Daiichi Ni, Saifa, and now Sansuru. Why is this one more difficult than the other ones? It should be more difficult than the other, or the other ones are easy, should be easier. Okay, Kaya mentioned something before.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I would think it's a shift in direction, because for the two other ones, you're
Well,
pointing down after.
yeah, but
Or is it the hip tilt again? Pelvic tilt.
because this one is a 90-degree turn, just like Gixai Daiichi Ni. Saifa is a 180-degree turn.
Is it because you end up in a longer stance than the other ones?
Well, you're in Zenku Sirachi on the Gixai Daiichi Ni. If you were
Because you're
instead of-
starting in a wider stance?
what? What was that?
Because you're starting in a wider stance?
You mean in Shikodachi?
In Sanseru.
Sansuru, wider stance. It's got something to do with the stance, yes, but it's wider stance. Like if you do, okay, I want you to go back to Sansuru. Instead of doing Shikodachi 90 degrees, go into Shikodachi 45. So I'm facing this way. Instead of this way, you can go maybe this way. And then, but you still want to go in that direction. Okay, so instead of 90 degrees here, plant your foot here or here, I guess. But you still want to turn bang in that direction. Is that easier?
No, Sensei.
Okay, that's why you're still a white belt. You need to work on Gixai Daiichi and Saifa. Brown belts. Not easier, the same, more difficult.
I think it's easier going from 45 instead of 90.
Yeah, well, I think so. And you know what do you think the reason why is?
Momentum change.
Okay, a wise woman said during this class, Sensei, when you do this sweep, can you go past the leg to come around? Yeah. In Shikodachi, you can't go past because this leg's in the way. So you can't really go to your limit, rebound up like in Senju Sadachi. Shikodachi 45, you can because your leg is not on behind the supporting foot, so you can swing it past. And Shikodachi, you can't swing it past. You have to bring it up and then come around. So you don't have that aspect of that whipping action. Even in Renoji Dachi, the back foot is a little bit off. You can go past. So you can still do, you don't have that momentum back, but you can still go past, come around. But Shikodachi 90 degrees, you can't hit your limit and rebound up. You have to go and create that. So that's why I think it's a little more difficult. So the white belts and green belts work on that hip action. Like I said, if you can control yourself in gig side and plant your foot when you want to without having to, then you can hopefully translate it into Saifa. And then when you get into this one, Sensu, it makes it a little bit easier. But in all cases, once you use that turn, don't lean forward. Okay, you should be able to prevent yourself from leaning. You should be able to hold that position in Sagiashi Dachi if you want to, in all of them. And that's the key to see if you can use hips with, and then with balance. Okay, any questions on any of these things? The most important thing, though, is your stance, regardless of anything you do with your hand techniques. Everything translates from your stance and then up to your hand techniques. So even if you just work on the hip action and balance with your stance and moving into stance, and even moving into any stance you want, like in Saifa, once you turn in 180 degrees, you don't have to go into plant your foot in Renoji Dachi. You can shift your into Senju Sadachi or Shikodachi 45 or whatever one you want, with control. Okay, so like I said, all these things help. It's that hip action. That one, remember that the more senior one that you from here. Don't show it. It's a secret.
Sensei?
What?
Robin Sensei's here.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said
Okay. Oh, of course.
don't show it. Keep it yourself. Comes the word. Thanks, Taya. Okay. I think this is the last. This is the last. No, I'm gonna see what my calendar says here. Okay, yeah, there's another week to go in this month. So, for white belts, if you want to take do that exam, or green belts, like I said, I know you're going through some exam times and everything. Have some people help you out with the videos. You know, it's not a strict time limit, but I don't want to carry on for too long. But you know, just all the videos don't have to come at once. You know, and have the higher belts help you out on in videotaping things, and just send it when you're ready. You can send it. So if you have any other issues, just let me know about the exam. But don't be stressed out about it. But you know, you have an opportunity exam, and I want to give you that. But if you feel you don't have you're not ready, there's always one sometime next year. I don't know when we're going to do it, but so it's your own choice. Okay, and now for higher belts, I didn't mention for the Marote ski when you're doing in. If your stance is correct and your pivoting is correct, you don't have to stop there, right? It's a rounding motion from here, right? Here, position. Just like in Giksai Daich where it's rounding. Saifa. Okay, so I'm going to end class a couple of minutes early, and then if you want to talk with each other for a few minutes before we start off in the senior class. Okay, so see, Shoni, hey, Tagani, hey. Okay, thank you for attending this class.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei. Oh, Sensei, I can't stay for the second class today.
Okay, yeah,
Sorry about that.
just hook up with one of the senior belts another time, and they can go over what we covered.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'll see you next time.
Okay. Okay, we'll start now. See, Shoni, hey, Tagani, hey. Okay, I believe, does everybody know the Saifa kata or Sansuru kata? Just warm up with it. You don't have to go fast, but just warm up with the kata, entire kata. Okay. So before we go into the bunkais, any questions about the kata? Okay, so kata bunkai number 1, does anybody know that one? Okay, we'll just, okay. If you have not a very good memory, it gets a little complicated on bunkai number 1. So from here, you step up. Okay, did you get that? It's kata bunkai number 1. Try that one more time. Yeah, so you just stop there. Okay, so that kata bunkai number 1. Okay, so just remember you finish off with the right side punch. Okay, kata bunkai number 2, you finish off with the position. So start off with this one, and then continue on here, bang, until number 2. Okay, so if there's any questions along the way, just you can ask me. Let's kata bunkai number 2. Kata bunkai number 3, you go to first consensus gear. And so from here. And then hold it in Sariyashi Dachi. Okay. So this part here, for form and basics, you can hold this position, but make sure you don't bounce around. Okay, a little more advanced from here. Then you go to Kamai and Nekowashi. Either one is good. But make sure if you do this one, don't bounce around. It's kind of difficult in Kitsatsu, which it's actually a good exercise maybe for higher belts to do it every once in a while to see if you're holding position that way. It's much harder without bouncing around. And then go back to here. So that's number 2, 3. Okay, number 4, go to the first Mote ski from the last position. Okay, and number 5, I think this is the first bunkai that goes to 5 parts. So number 5 is to completion. So Kabir, can you start that over from here, and then when you get to the Shikudachi position, just stop there. So for number 5, yeah. Okay, so look, hold that position. So with my X-ray eyes, is your right hand reaching out towards where you're facing? Your right hand is this way? Yeah, so, yeah, so wherever you're facing, the bottom hand should be facing that direction. Yeah. Now, I think when you did it the first way, Kabir, I think you did it correctly. So if you can go to the, yeah, see there. And it's like you're thinking of you're going to grab the belt of your opponent, pull it. So the other way, you want to also have that bottom hand. Okay. Yeah, you should put lead lining on your gi because I can see through it and see the hand position. Okay, so 5 kata bunkais. Try it one more time on your own. Go back to Heiko Desperate. Think about those sections. Okay, so kata bunkai number 1 again. Okay. We're going to do the defense, all 5 defenses only for today. If we have enough time, we might go through the attacks, but we're going to do defenses. So left nekowash. And what you're going to do is shift into Sanchin Desu, Chudan okay, Chudan okay, ski. So just think, you're doing 3 techniques alternating, block, block, strike. So from here, block, block, strike. Then with your back foot, you go off the line. The same hand as you punch, you're going to do Chudan okay, and then hiki ski. Okay, so just remember 3 alternating techniques, 1, 2, 3, and then the same hand technique, hiki ski. Okay, try that. Lead hand, same hand you punch Teya, block with that hand. And that hand will block here. Yeah. So it's a reverse hand hiki ski. That's it.
Sensei,
Mhm.
the last punch Jodan.
Yes. Okay, so what's happening is the attacker is doing a punch, another punch, and then you retaliate with a punch. They block it, and then they're going to shift ahead in Zenku Sadachi. That's why you want to go off the line. But you're in Sanchin Dachi all the way through. Try one more time. Okay, good. Kata bunkai number 2. Okay, so Migiash right foot. They're going to do a punch, so you block, and then you reverse punch. They're going to grab your arm with both hands, so you break free. You're going to grab again, both hands. So then when you're going to break free, you step forward with your back foot, and then you shift back and block. Stay high, because they're going to come and do a Mwashi Hijiate to your head. So don't stay low, stay high. They're coming in, and then you shift your stance and you get down low, and you lead hand, you go the back of the leg. The back hand, you're going to hit the inside of the knee and take them down. But it's critical at this stage with here, you want to be high. In fact, I wouldn't get into a really long Zenku Sadachi. It should be maybe a hand Zenku Sadachi and be up high. I mean, and then it gives you a chance from here, when they're swinging around, to down, back position. Okay, so let's try that again. Lead hand block, reverse punch. Break free number 1. Break free number 2, when you come to this position, bring your back foot in, and then step back. Step high, they're coming around, come down. Okay, so try that. Okay, so if you're a little bit delayed on the coming down from here, so you do the block, punch, break free here. If they're coming around and you're a little bit delayed and they're coming here, your left hand, which comes to strike, it's in front. Okay, because you're gonna shift and you're gonna go into the person, but if you don't get your head down fast enough, that will protect that hijiate, and then you can sweep down. Okay. But if you can stay up high, and then when they swing around, anticipate, you can go down low. But that hand can still be positioned to do it uchuke if you need to. Okay, so do Oyo Bunkai number 1 and 2. Okay. Kata bunkai number 3. Okay, so in the kata bunkai, you're in right nekowashi or right zengusudachi, and then you're blocking. Okay, and right zengusudachi. So you start off in number 3, left nekowashi, and you step back into zengusudachi, block. There's a strike coming, so you step back and block, and then you kick, plant, hijate, ski. They're going to come around with the back fist. So then you're going to go off the line in uchoke nekowashi, kakyoke. And you're going to be off the line. So you're going to be on the outside of their leg, and you can do the knee kick on the outside. So we'll try that one more time. So from here, step back, block. Hi, Gary, plant, hijate, ski. They block that, so now they're going to do a back fist, so you go off the line, uchoke, kakyoke. Now you're on their outside, side and back of the knee, front knee. Okay. So try that. Okay, so try oyobonkai 1, 2, and 3. Okay, any questions up to now?
So for the third oyobunkai, is it mirrored of what we do in the kata? Is everything on the left side? Or am I getting the steps wrong?
Everything on the left side. So,
Or is it the same as the kata?
the kata, yeah, it's the same. It's the same as the kata, but you go up the line when you do the kakyoke. So it should be the same because you step back. Now you're the same as the kata. Same as the kata, same as the kata, same as kata, and then
okay.
same
Yeah.
here.
Okay, thank you.
And say in the kata, how high should people do jujiuke? Because in the bunkai, it's jodan.
Yeah. So you wanna, it's coming here. So you wanna, and then you wanna look under there, right? So it's coming here. And
So same as kata and in kata and bunkai.
yes. Yeah. I seen it here, but I think it should be here, I believe.
Yeah, I've seen both, so I wasn't sure. We should go high then.
I think it should be here, and then I think it's also consistent with kurunfa, right? Is kurunfa also high above? I think so, yeah. Yeah, so I think it's kind of consistent there. Because usually Goju is very close. If you do this one, you have to be a little bit further away to know that you're stopping it here. So I think it's here.
And precisely on this block, Sensei, is that a Jordan kick that we are blocking, or it could be a
No, they're stepping ahead. You're gonna
okay.
punch. So you
So it's
just,
just a punch.
yeah.
A
So you,
Jordan,
yeah.
a Jordan punch that we're blocking. Hi. Hi. Thank you.
Okay, so bunkai, kata bunkai number 4. So you should be starting off here. Okay, so number 4, start off on right knee clutch, and you step back, chudan uke. So sukta-giri is coming, knife edge kick chudan. So you step back and block it, and you kick here. High toe is coming. So after here, you're gonna block, and then they're gonna grab your belt from here. So from here, this one here, you break free and you grab the wrist. You gotta come down. And then you come up in stance, and you're gonna shift stance. So you're coming up and you're grabbing, you lock. So I'm in, my feet are together. You lock, you shift back in Zengu Sadachi. And you bring your arms with you, but you don't turn yet. Because when you turn your back heel into Shigodachi 90 degrees, you take them down. So we'll try that again. Sukta-giri coming is chudan, so you step back, block, kick, and bang. Haito is coming, so you block. They're going to grab you, so you, from here, you want to use your weight down and to break free. You grab. Bring your, when you're locking, you bring your foot up, and then you shift back, bring it together, and that's when you turn. Then, okay, so try it again on your own. Okay, and if you lock them correctly from here, you break free, and you lock them correctly, and when you step back, your hands stay with you. You don't do that. Okay, you come back, they're going to be off balance. If it's done correctly, you don't even have to do this one. Okay, because from here, if you turn your hips that way, it automatically turns their over, and you can watch them to see their body. If they're already going, you know you have them locked. Okay, but the key is to get in the elbows to position, not here. Okay, but you worked on the saifa, right? Lock, and that's what you want to do. Okay, any questions on this one?
I have another question.
Okay.
For the last elbow, are you in Shikodachi? Are you
That one, yeah, because they're going to be down low. So you're most likely you'd be not almost like the long zengi step, but you'd probably be in your back knee would be down to get in position. But because they're going down, if it's not convenient, you don't have to do, you can do a kick to the ribs or something like that. You do something. But when you take them down, try to control it, keep their control, or they might just roll away. Okay, so try Oyo Bunkai 1 to 4. Taya, do that last part again. Okay, so you moved your back foot to your front foot. Okay, so what's happening is all their weight is there. Well, you move your front foot to your back foot, eh? Or you move your back foot to your front foot. Yeah, okay, then that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. I thought you moved your front foot to your back foot, but you actually moved your back foot to your front foot, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah. The reason being is the person is right there when you lock them. If you try to move your front foot to your back foot, you're trying to draw them all the way in, and then you go into a small stance, bringing them in. If you go towards them, there's no force. They're locked, you come in, and then you step back in long stance to take them down. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, bring your back foot to your front. But if and when we work with a partner, you'll see that it's that way. Okay, we're going to take a short break for a water break. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Sensei,
Yes.
question about the attack for number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Are the punches all chudan, or is it chudan, chudan, back, and then jodan, or is it chudan?
No, it's all, it's actually all chudan, which is interesting. You think they'll be changing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I guess even if they do a jodan, If you block and they do a Jodan, you can block here and then bring it down, from here. If the Sabaki is Jodan, it doesn't matter because you go off the line. Okay. Okay, so before we go on to number 5, maybe do Oyo Bunkai 1 to 4 again. Okay, so Kata Bunkai number 5, the last one. Okay, so number 5, you're in left neck wash. Strike is coming, so Chudan okay, then you come right back. And then you, strike is coming in, so Sachin desu, but reverse Chudan okay. And then Uchi okay. And then Teisho from here. You're striking here or here, striking here. So let's try that again. So Chudan, come on. Then the next 2 are going to come fast. So it's 1, 2. Yeah, so just try that combination. Okay, so you're coming, block, 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 strike, you kind of throw them off. And then when you make contact, you grab their gi and belt temporarily, and you do almost like a weak shibai just to throw them off, and you twist from that position. So you come from here, you grab and you twist, so you invert your hand position from here. Okay, so let's try that again. So block, come on. Block, block, double strike, a shibai twist in that position. So work on that. Yes.
Okay, at which point do we let go of the grab?
Oh, just when you do a foot sweep and you get them slightly off just a little bit. So they're feeling this, they're feeling their foot, and then you to go in. So it's just a very bang. It's hardly a grab. It's just to throw them off. Okay, so yeah, you block, come on, reverse block, uchi, bang. Just to hit the leg, shibai, bang. Now they're going to be blocking. They see that coming, they block them. I believe it's going to be the same hand position as yours. So I believe your front foot lowers, right? So they block it here. What you're doing is you take advantage of them and you grab. You go clockwise under, and then you swing down. So you're going clockwise. So let's go back before that. So it's lead hand high, and then sweep. Bang. So there you grab, you go under, and then you swing down. And then they're spinning around, and they're doing a moshigiri, so you block. So left foot, left hand, shuto, more. And then you step back. Position. Just ceremonial, you know. We'll try one more time. Okay, so block, block. You grab. Now you want to get their arms high, so you just pivot. You try not to move your body too much. You try to just pivot around, and then your right leg, you just swing back into maybe a long stance, and you throw it. Block, and then step back. Okay, so at this point, after here, this grab is when you go under. What's going to happen is they block this way. Okay, you grab them and they're going to spin under, and then they're going to be this way, and then this way. Okay. When they grab you, so I'm the attacker, and you spin around. When you're doing this, the defender has their back towards you. So you can actually pull them or knee them. This transition is, I don't think, very good. They're not in a twisting motion like the other ones. They're off balance. Okay, so when you guys think about it, come up with a plausible thing, but you're putting yourself at risk, I think, for that, doing that. Okay, so that's one area it's suspect. By turning your back on the person without twisting their arms, they're going to be right, so they can pull you this way. So then you can throw them. Okay, so try it. If you have any questions on this one, but yeah, but ask me questions if you need some.
So when we throw the attacker, we're stepping back with our right leg.
Yeah, to get into a longer stance. So it's so you turn and then you sweep down, and then you got a longer base to get them off balance and pull them back.
So we turn 360 and then step back with our right foot, and then block with our left.
Yeah, we turn 360, and when I turn 360, my right foot is still in front, and then my right foot comes back, and then you swing down.
That looks more like 278. So.
No, maybe, yeah, maybe it's.
We're not doing a full circle.
No, actually, you're not. You're doing 3/4, yeah, maybe, or two, yeah, two 270 is what it is. Yeah, here.
3/4 there. And then
And,
block with the left.
yeah, block with the left, okay, and then you step back. So they're only doing the moshigiri. Now, in this, if I develop my own style and broke away from everybody, I'd change this part, but this part, I'd strike and then I'd step, because if they're still down or even with they're coming up, I'd move in and get them. I wouldn't just step back and do that. Okay. And that's in Seisan Bunkai. You do that, I believe, Seisan Bunkai. Is it Seisan? Maybe. One of the higher ones, you actually step in and strike them.
So I have a question. When they are doing the Marushigiri, they are down, right? They are on the ground. They are down.
But yeah, this motion, Chris.
Yeah.
They're spinning this way.
But yeah, but you bring them down, right?
Yeah, you bring them down, and they're. I don't know if you can see me. They're spinning
Yeah.
this way, and then you.
Yeah. So they're doing the Marushi and then they are down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
That's why you
and
do
that's
that.
what you're blocking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Sensei?
Yeah.
So this should go when you block the kick.
Yeah.
What's our setup for it?
Their kick is coming around this way. So you want to go into them. So when you block them, it's almost, not quite, but almost perpendicular. Their kick is coming around here, and you shift here, and you can block them.
Okay.
Okay, because they're on the ground. It's not going to be a high energy, but their impact is right here. Energy, the maximum energy is here. So what you do is you go off the line, and if the leg continues on, it's not going to be maximum, and you block it. And then
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of difficult to imagine right now. But maybe in the dojo, one person will do it, distance, and maybe you can see that.
Yeah, I meant more the setup of the hand that's blocking. Is it out there the whole time, or does it walk to the elbow? Or?
After you throw them down, they're spinning around. Then you.
Okay, so it comes up to the elbow approximately, and then same.
Yeah.
And then for the leg position for this block, it's just a secret.
Just step back in the regular bunkai. It's
okay. For
it's
that,
like, it's like
just...
taunting your vanquished. I don't know what it is.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, if with this throwdown, if you don't have the energy to spin them all the way around, they won't be able to do their moshigiri. So that's okay. You can just do the strike and step back. You don't have to wait until that. Okay, but if it's done correctly, you're spinning them, they're going to come around, and that's their last ditch effort to do something to try to get up. So they do the kick, but you block, you strike them, and you step up.
Sensei,
Yes.
the motion from stepping back from here, this way, is it just sort of around like that, or is it?
For this, yeah, you can just go through here. But in the we didn't have a chance to go over the kata, because from here, when I step, I'm turning. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a flowing one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But here, it does. You don't have to do that. You can just go straight down into that one. The only reason why I wanted you to practice these ones, step in, uchi-oke, is every time you turn in the flowing blocks, you should protect your face. Face, then block. Okay, just to get that concept of, you're you're turning blindly, so you should protect your face first and then position. But I'll go over it, like I said, I didn't want to go over the kata itself in this class right here, but I'll maybe put a video and maybe the people in the dojo I can show them, so when you do a one-on-one, you can go over it.
Right.
Okay, so if you're okay with that, maybe do all 5 Oyobunkai defenses. Okay, so this one, on that respect, for Saifa Bunkai, number 3, attacker, you know, they collapse and they put their knee on the person's defender's knee. If it's not a solid strike, or if they block it, you can come down and do that to your defender too. Okay, doesn't have to be just like if they don't do anything after that. If they're late on doing that, you can actually do that one to them. Okay, so in that position. Okay, any questions on 1 to 5? Yes.
When we're on number 5, when we're throwing the opponent, we're stepping back into Zen Kusudachi?
Yeah, you sweep down. You can go into Shikudachi. I prefer Zenku Sudachi. It's strong because then you're kind of directing. This is a classic Aikido projection. Project them out and then pull them back. Eh? That's what you're doing. You get them off balance and then you pull them in and you get into a long Zenku Sudachi. I go into Zenku Sudachi as long as it's a solid stance like Shikudachi. You can go into Shikudachi too. But I go into Zenku Sudachi.
Does it matter if we stay in Zenku Sudachi for the block after that? After throwing?
Either. You can, a lot of times I see the Shikudachi because when you do the ski, you can use your hips for the extension. So it shows a little more power. But you can be in also Zenku Sudachi too. Stay in Zenku Sudachi. It's both solid. The only thing is, if you're, like I said, if you're projecting in Zenku Sudachi, block in Shikudachi, and then ski, you get to use show your hips in that projection.
Okay, so it would be ideal to turn into Shikudachi for the block and then turn back into Zenku Sudachi for the punch?
That would look nice if you can do that, yeah. But I don't think it has to be that way, as long as you're in a good stance, as long as you're not a small stance and trying to punch through.
I have a quick question, Sensei. After stepping back, blocking, and then punching, are we doing a sabaki? Sorry, I just wasn't clear. Are we sparking to the left or back?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I do. When I step back, it's not really a sabaki. It's just because they're down, they're not moving. I just gain distance.
Step back.
Then step back to gain distance from here.
Right.
But maybe, like I said, if you get a chance to practice, even not in contact, but fairly close proximity, we can see if we can actually do the movement forward to potentially do a strike to their chin or ribs stepping forward.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, so we're running out of time. Who knows the attacks for yourself and Calvin? Do you know? Yeah, kind of. Okay, I didn't want to cover it today. Just brown belts. We just work on the defense, kata bunkai, and defense kata bunkai. This is for, I believe, what I'm looking for. Second cue to first cue, I believe. Have to check. Okay. For officially for Goju Kai, this is a much higher bunkai for brown belts wouldn't learn this. But if you know the kata, you should know the bunkai soon afterwards. Okay, so practice the kata. I didn't get a chance to go over the little nuances of the kata, but I'll go over it in class, and then I'll try to make some small video clips of certain things to work on in the kata. And then next week, we're going to go over the defenses for this one, or the attacks. Okay. Okay. So just work on your own. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll bow out in about 5 minutes. Yes.
For number 3, after doing the elbow and the punch, stepping off to the left when we do the kakyuke.
Yep.
Right. So kakyuke here and then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a back fist is coming.
Right.
From the attacker.
Right.
And they're when they do the back fist, they're gonna be here. They're gonna leave there, and that's where you do that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's why when you go up the line, you want to block that outstretched hand, and then you can grab it if you want, but it's there, and then that outstretched leg is there to.
Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you.
For the attack for number 5,
yes,
there's one way I think in which the attacker does get locked in that block.
If you go counterclockwise?
So if the attacker, was here, and then I think if they block this way, then because you're going that way, they get locked here.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So if they're, I think in the actual bunkai, they block the same position. So that's why you both open up. In fact, I believe if the attacker, because the defender does a strike, the attacker does the block, they should have the advantage to grab and take them down. You can actually do the same thing to the defender, but you'd be turning around too. But if they did have the opposite hand in front, you can, yeah. Another option is if they do it the regular way, but instead of going clockwise, you go counterclockwise, you may be able to lock them. That's why it'd be interesting to practice different variations to see what works, what doesn't work, what position you'll be open or not. Okay. Because this combination is complex, you know, because you're hoping that the attacker is going to do this, and they might do this, you know, and it changes the dynamics. You should be prepared for everything, right? So, yeah. So if the hands are the opposite way, you can do it. Or maybe if instead of going clockwise, you go counterclockwise, you might be able to lock them. Yeah. That's an interesting section to work on. Like I said, the variations to see what works, what doesn't work. If it doesn't work, can you get away with it, or you just have to be careful, you know, what to do. I think this one, when you open them up, maybe when you go around, you do a hijate. You should have hijate, take down, or when you come around, you do what you do in Seijin, you do the hip. But you can't just go around, you know, you're wide open. So.
Okay.
Yeah. But those are the things you should think about, especially once you kind of know the official version of Bunkai, then you say, well, that may be a little bit weak or suspect. Things like that. Okay, we're winding down now, so maybe we'll bow out. See. Show me knee. Hey. Knee. Hey. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Okay,
Thank you, Sensei.
thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.